Hello friends, today I am going to solve a problem on development of lateral surfaces by taking this a problem statement, a cube of side 40 millimeter. You can also find this problem statement in your video CAD drawing solution book in the page number 127, the problem number 5. See here, in this problem they given the statement for the cube of side 40 millimeter, rest on HP with its base and one of the vertical faces inclined to VP at 30 degree. So to construct this initial position, draw a line of a 30 degree and you can select rectangle command, continuous line 0.5 millimeter thickness, specify the width of 40 and height is 40, angle is a 30 degree. Now we can place the object anywhere on the drawing sheet and you can select move command and you have to select one of its endpoint and keep it on this a 30 degree line. In the next step, we need to join a projection line by selecting line command. So after that, to construct the front view, so draw a vertical projection line of 40. For this kind of a cube object, they will not specify the height. We need to consider this object having a height that's equal to a base edge length. Okay, so then from this visible edge, draw it in continuous line. Similarly, this is the axis line. Select that one and draw it in axis line, and this is the invisible edge. You have to select dashed line and 0.13 millimeter. So draw a line. In the next step, we need to give a notation. After mentioning the notation in both front and top views, we need to project the cutting plane. For that, they given the statement: it is cut by a section plane perpendicular to VP and inclined to HP at an angle of 45 degree. And pass through the midpoint of the axis line. So we'll go through the cutting plane. We'll project the cutting plane, select the line command, axis line 0.13 millimeter thickness, and also go to tools, select Intel sketch, relationship, and midpoint. Select OK. So in the next step, we need to project the cutting plane from the midpoint. So just move the cursor over this center line. We'll get the midpoint symbol, left click there and specify a line of 45 degree and project it in the forward direction. In the next step, you can select extend to next command and project the same line towards backward direction. Then in the next step, select line command, continuous line 0.5 millimeter thickness. To differentiate this cutting plane line from the center line, you have to make this border by thick line. Okay, then the portion lies below the cutting plane that has to be drawn by a thick line, that is the retaining portion that has to be mentioned by a thick continuous line. In the next step, select trim command, trim this dashed line and redraw it by a thick dashed line. Okay, so after projecting this thick line, in the next step we need to identify the cutting plane. For that, I can see here, whenever the cutting planes passing through all the lateral edges, we are getting a cutting point that's equal to a number of edges in the top view. But here in this problem, the cutting plane is passing through only few lateral edges, but it is not passing through the lateral edges like C of C1 and A of A1. And also this case, whenever the cutting plane bisect the top edges, we are getting the one number of extra cutting point. Okay, so that's the rule. Whenever the cutting plane bisecting one of the top edges or a base edges, we are getting the extra number of cutting point. In this problem, the cutting plane bisects the top edges and the base edges, so we are getting the two number of extra cutting point. We'll project that. Select line command, continuous line 0.13 millimeter thickness. From this endpoint here, just project a thin projection line towards a top view. Now you can use a distance between command and find out the distance of the first cutting point, that is 14.64. The cutting point number 1 lies at a distance of 14.64. Similarly, this endpoint here, that is 8.45. And again, the one more cutting point will get here. So now you'll select text command. See, the cutting point number 1 lies exactly at a distance of 14.64 millimeter from the point A of A1. This is the cutting point number 2. The cutting point number 3 lies here, and the cutting point number 4 lies here. The cutting point number 5, again the cutting point number 6. Okay, and you are not supposed to project the cutting points on the lateral edges A of A1 and C of C1, because the cutting plane is not passing through these edges. And in the front view, we will project the same cutting points. So after projecting the cutting points in the front view, we need to project the development layout. For that, select line command, continuous line 0.13 millimeter thickness. From the point C dash, just draw a horizontal line that's parallel to XY line. Then from the initial position, leave a convenient space and draw a vertical line. Then you can select offset command. From the vertical line, specify the distance of 40. That is the distance between A to B, that 40 millimeter. And right click, A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. Now with the help of trim command, you can trim this extra line. You can select a text command and mention notations here. So now first we'll project the cutting points that lies on base edges. So select arc by center point command. So you can see that the cutting point number 1 lies at a distance of 14.64 millimeter from the point A of A1. So we'll specify the cutting point radius 14.64 millimeter. Similarly, the cutting point number 6 lies in the base edges at a distance of 8.45 millimeter from the lateral edges of A1. Similarly, from the point C, the cutting point number 3 lies between B to C at a distance of 8.45 millimeter. So then you can cut an arc. Okay. Again, the cutting point number 4 lies between C to D. So it lies at a distance of 14.64 millimeter from the point C. Now we will draw a projection line from the cutting point number 2. It lies between B to B1. Similarly, the cutting point number 5 lies between D to D1. Let's still project the cutting points. So after projecting the cutting points on this development layout, we need to join it. You can select this A end point here. From the cutting point number 1 to 2, draw a thick line, then 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, then 5 to 6, then 6 to 1. You have to join it by thick line. Similarly, the from the cutting point number 2 to B1, join it by thick line, then C to C1, then 5 to D1, draw a thick line. In the next step, don't forget to mention the dimension of a cutting points. Select a distance between cutting point number 1 and this line. It is 8.45 millimeter, sorry, 14.64. And again, the distance of the cutting point number 3 is 8.45 millimeter. The distance of the cutting point number 4, it is 14.64 millimeter. Similarly, this cutting point distance is 8.45. In the meantime, you have to select distance between command and find out that each distance between the base edges A to B, B to C, like that. So that is the projection for this problem, the cube with the sides of 40 millimeter. Thank you. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.